What's going on, everybody? Dallas again with Chaos Fragrances. Today we're back with another video. This time we're going to be looking at my most worn fragrances of February, so last month. So I've done these types of videos a few times before on my channel, just kind of a fun way for you guys to get a feeling for what I've been wearing a lot, each month. It's still very cold here because it is winter, so these are mainly going to be winter fragrances for the most part. Like I said, it's just kind of a fun way for you guys to get an idea of what I've been wearing the most. So again, going over my most worn fragrances of last month. These aren't going to be any particular order, just kind of in general what I've worn the most. So that sounds interesting too. Let's go and jump into the list. And of course, before we jump into this list, if you've been watching my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. Just make sure you subscribe and also turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post. And now let's go and jump into the video. First one we have is Initio Absolute Aphrodisiac. So this is one that I've done a review on. You can check that out on my channel. In that review, I actually was reviewing it from a sample and liked it so much that I ended up picking up a bottle, and I wore it quite a bit last month. This is a beautiful vanilla scent. It's got vanilla, amber, and this kind of animalic note as well. Overall, it just smells so good. Very, very good stuff. The vanilla isn't necessarily like a boozy type of vanilla, but just more of a nice creamy vanilla. Again, this scent just smells amazing. It's very sexy, it's very sweet. It's just something that I really enjoy. Very potent stuff as well, and it just works perfect for winter, perfect for this time of year. So I definitely wore it a lot last month. Again, since I picked up a bottle of it, I've been wearing it a lot. So this is the first one, Absolute Aphrodisiac. Going with the second one, we have Dewar Intense. So this is one of my favorites from Dewar. This is one of my favorite designer scents of all time. This stuff just works really, really, really good on my skin. I love how it smells personally. It's just one of those scents that I just always love to reach for. This stuff just works really well in the cold air like we have now. It just is a really, really nice scent. It's one that I often wear pretty much for my own personal enjoyment. It's not one of those scents that I'm expecting to get a ton of positive attention from. Not everyone likes this. It is very powdery. And like I said, not everyone's going to like that type of scent, but it is one that I personally enjoy a lot, and because of that, I do wear it just kind of on my own whenever I feel like smelling this one. So again, this is the second one on the list, my most worn fragrances of last month, Dewar Intense. And the third one, we have Barcelona El Born. So this is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Like I said, this is another one I've done a review on. You can check it out on the channel already. But this stuff is just absolutely gorgeous. This is one I discovered over the summer actually, and I was looking for a bottle for a long time, and I finally ended up scoring two of them. I've got this one, and I also got this smaller 50 ml bottle, which I decanted out quite a bit, more than I would have liked. I actually wish I would have saved myself a little bit more, but I kind of got carried away when it came to selling samples. But I do still have a decent amount in there, and I'm going to wear it out of this bottle and save this one for whenever this one eventually runs out. But I do only go with a couple sprays with this one, and I do try to conserve it a little bit, although I did wear it last month like I said. But I am glad to have the second one with a little bit in there. But El Born, like I said, one of my favorite scents of all time, one of the best vanilla boozy scents in my opinion. It just smells really, really good. This was love at first sniff for me. It made it in that video I did on love at first sniff fragrances, and this is one that I just wore a lot last month. So this is my third pick, El Born. Just a fantastic scent. If you haven't got your nose on this, highly recommend you do. Whether or not you like vanilla, I still recommend that you at least try it out, because this is a remarkable scent and it's just one of my favorites. So if you, like I said, if you haven't tried this, you're definitely sleeping on it. I recommend that you go check it out if you can. And this one is El Born. Up next, we have a fragrance from MFK. This one is Baccarat Rouge 540. So this stuff, again, is one of my all-time favorite scents. This was a scent that actually was not love at first sniff. So this was one that had to grow on me a lot. I did a video on fragrances that were not love at first sniff, or fragrances that had to grow on me, and this one was in that list. It actually made it at number one. Just a little spoiler there. If you haven't seen it already, I'm sorry. But this one, like I said, this one had to grow on me. I didn't like it at first, but now it's one of my all-time favorites. Again, this is another one that I discovered in the summer. Ended up picking up my first bottle of it in the summer, and I still wore it anyway. This really is more of a cooler weather scent in my opinion, but it's kind of one of those things where I just still wore it in the summer because of how much I liked it. I do think it's suited more for this time of the year because of how strong it is. So again, I did wear it a lot last month. Just works really good in the colder air. That cold air helps tame it down. It just works really good in the winter. This is just really nice stuff overall. One of my favorites from MFK. Just a fantastic scent. Again, this is another one where I do recommend you grab a sample of it. Really would not blind buy this one at all. Definitely want to try this one before you buy it because this is not going to be for everyone. But it's kind of one of those things where for the people who like it, they really like it. For the people who don't, they just don't like it at all. It's kind of one of those divisive fragrances, you know, one side or the other. Again, I'm on the side where I just really love it, but you may hate it, and that's just kind of how it goes. So do recommend you check out a sample or get a sample if you decide you want to get it. I think you should try it regardless because it does smell really good. So again, this is Baccarat Rouge 540. I wore this one a lot last month. Up next we have CH Men, the original. So this is one of my favorite scents. I absolutely love this stuff. Really pretty much an all year round scent. It's sugary, it's leathery, it's got this like green grassiness, so it could be a really good spring scent, and it could also be a really good fall and winter scent. Like I said, it's pretty much all year round, and it's one of those fragrances that I just love so much that I've been wearing it a lot in the cold weather. Again, I wore it a lot last month. This is just kind of one of those dumb reach fragrances for me, so if I'm getting up and I'm not really going to be doing all that much, but I still obviously want to wear a fragrance, but maybe I don't want to spray on one of my nicer ones and go through the juice quicker. This is one of those ones where I'll just grab it and spray it on if I just don't have much going on. If I just want to have a fragrance I really love on, this is that scent that I reach for. Like I said, it works pretty much any time of year. I do find myself reaching for it in the cold quite a bit. There's just something about it. I just love that sugary, leathery aspect of it. Just smells delicious. So again, this is CH Men. Wore it a lot in February. So before we jump into the next few fragrances, I just want to hop in here and say if you haven't checked out my decanting course yet, go ahead and do that now. If you head on over to chaosfragrances.com or click the first link in the description, you can check it out there. Basically in this course I go over everything you need to know to start decanting, so that way you can build up your collection of fragrances without having to pay out of pocket. You use the fragrances that you already have in order to continue to buy more fragrances, so it just turns into a process. Once you get it started, it's really easy to keep it going and to build your whole collection up. That's how I was able to build this collection. All these creeds you see up here, those were all attained through splitting, through decanting. I didn't pay out of pocket for any of those. I was just able to do it all through this process. And again, I showed a screenshot of my sales within the first 3 months, so I'm just giving you the proof here that this stuff does work. And by you investing in the course, you'll be able to get started right away, and you won't be fiddling around and losing money. It'll get you going on the right track immediately. It'll be a great investment. Once you get started, you'll be able to make that money back in your first couple sales anyway, so it's definitely worth checking out. Again, that's chaosfragrances.com or the first link in the description. But enough of that, let's go and get back into the list. Up next, we have two Parfums vintage fragrances. We have Emperor Extrait and Emperor. So I'm just kind of grouping these two together because they both are Emperor, just different concentrations. And I wore these a lot last month. The main reason why is because I was testing them. I ended up getting these, I believe it was sometime last month, maybe even in January. I honestly cannot remember. I did spend a lot of time testing these, and I just released a review on both of these that you can check out just recently. But I really wanted to spend a lot of time testing these because there are quite a few other Aventus inspired fragrances from Parfums Vintage. I wanted to make sure I fully tested these so I could provide the most accurate review possible. I don't want to go into too much depth because again I just covered it in a full review, but in terms of all around the most solid Aventus smelling fragrance without any tweaked notes or anything like that, these Emperor fragrances are the ones that you want to go for. Again, Pineapple Vintage Intense, that one's focused on the pineapple. Vanilla Intense, that one's focused on the vanilla and amping it up. King Intense, that one's focused on the woody aspect of it and amping it up. So you can see here all these fragrances are all targeting different batches, which is great. I do love all of those, but if you're looking for a solid all-around Aventus smelling fragrance, very balanced, not focused on any specific notes or anything like that, then like I said, Emperor is what you want to go with. So definitely check out that full review. There are coupon codes that are active as of right now. Again, those are all in the video, so if you're interested in getting these, definitely check it out. Getting down to the end here, second to last, we have another Initio, and this one is Side Effect. So this is one that I have not done a review yet or talked about yet. This one I just recently picked up last month, and I wore it quite a bit. So this one is very sweet and boozy. It has rum, it has tobacco, it has some cinnamon. It just smells really, really nice and sweet. It's definitely a very heavy fragrance with a lot of depth, so perfect for this time of year in the very cold weather. This one does great for that. I'm probably going to be doing a review on this one here at some point or another. Initio is a house that I've really been getting into. I do only own 2 currently, but I want to pick up a few more like Rehab and a few others. So that's something that I have been getting into. But Side Effect, this one is really, really great, and I wore it a lot last month. And finally, on to the last one, we have another MFK to close it all off, and this one is Ciel de Gum. So this is one of my, again, another one of my newer pickups, and I wore it quite a bit last month. This one is a little bit more hard to find. It's an MFK exclusive, but if you can get your hands on this one, definitely worth it. I haven't done a review on this one yet. I probably will at some point, but one good way to describe it is it smells like a cinnamon candle, like a waxy cinnamon candle or something along those lines, because it does have this very waxy feel with cinnamon, with amber. This stuff just smells very, very good, and it's an awesome scent for the winter. So guys, that is it. That is my most worn fragrances of last month. Let me know down below what you guys wore last month, because I'd be curious to know what you have to say about that. And that's going to do it, guys. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to leave a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss my posts. And of course, check out the full guide to decanting, chaosfragrances.com, or the first link in the description. And that's going to do it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.